From this point forward, the word cheese will be bleeped because Michael finds it offensive.
Hello, and welcome back to the Fine Dining Podcast, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. I'm your host, Michael Ornelas, and I'm looking for the perfect 5.00 dining experience out of 10 to find a litmus test so we know where good becomes bad, bad becomes good. You need somewhere right in the middle. Currently, Cracker Barrel leads the way at a 5.01 out of 10. It's not perfect mediocrity, but it's pretty freaking close. And this is my Halloween spectacular, A Nightmare on WingStreet. I am dressed fully in Freddy Krueger garb.
Oh, you're not normally like this?
No, I'm not normally like this. This is actually a costume, much like what you're wearing.
What?
My guest is also fully uggoed out as Freddy Krueger.
Whoa, judgment.
You can see a picture on screen of what she actually
looks
like.
Maybe it's this side. Or maybe it's this side.
Yeah, it's one of the two. Rachel Bryant,
Hi.
Actress, friend. How you doing?
You know what? I'm doing pretty darn good, Michael.
Yeah? Are you?
Pretty darn.
I'm honestly...
I will say my skin is starting to come off, but that's
normal. Your skin
is
coming off. I'm sweating like... The back of my neck is like juicing.
That's true. You're very wet.
I'm very moist. It's what I call a wet dream.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a line from Nightmare on Elm Street, what we're referencing this week.
Oh, Nightmare on right now.
So, yeah, like I said, this show, I'm looking for perfect mediocrity, and we're doing it based on 3 criteria. Every week I go to a restaurant and evaluate it based on its atmosphere.
Based on its service.
And based on its food. Mmm, yummy.
Ooh, yum yums.
Yeah.
Yum brands.
Yum. We went to a Yum Brands place. So WingStreet was the place this week. We're going to jump on in, but before I do me a favor. Just share this show with a friend of yours this week. I work so hard on this show, and I'd love it if you just showed it off to people. If you're into the show, they'll be into it too. And if they don't like it, then, you can do it to get back at your enemies, but share it to somebody.
Yes, yes.
Fine dining party of 2.
Anyways, we're going to jump on in. Our table is finally ready. Play the theme song.
Your table is ready, follow me. Have you tried our chicken breast? Serving pancakes and ribs, I recommend the spaghetti. We're here to satisfy, not to impress. Your table is ready, complimentary butter and bread. These walls have road signs, knick-knack, cowboy hat, good luck cat, autographed guitar, some crap from your city. Behold the tchotchke of mediocrity. Fine dining, just fine dining, fine dining. 2 letters on the sign are shining, neon flickering, irregular timing. Identify the perfect 5 out of 10. Fine dining, fine dining.
Atmosphere.
Okay, so we drove to not the closest WingStreet to me, but the 4th closest.
Yes.
All because...
You love the number 4.
No, I love it that it has a prominent WingStreet sign on the building.
It does.
This WingStreet takes up more real estate on the building than the word Pizza Hut.
So it knows its audience. I think it is leaning into the WingStreet premise here.
All of the other Pizza Huts near me, while they still have WingStreet offerings, the sign says none of it. It's ashamed of it. And this place
celebrates it.
The WingStreet vibe.
Yes.
So we pull into this parking lot. We drove the whole way dressed as Freddy Krueger.
We did.
We spent, a couple hours getting makeup applied beforehand. This was an ordeal. And I'm going to be honest, it was unpleasant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, just sitting there,
I guess
sweating.
I'm
hot.
used to it because I sit in a makeup chair often for a lot of horror movies. So I kind of knew what to expect. But it is hot. It is hot, I will say.
I'm glad I did it, for the bit.
Sure.
But it's like, I'm not physically comfortable right now.
Right.
I wasn't physically enjoying being at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be.
But that may be more than just the costume that's influencing it.
I'm sorry, can I actually remove, it's so...
I can probably rip it.
Don't actually. Okay.
Oh, no. There we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
It dangles onto your lip and it's so creepy. so that's what we rolled up in. And, there were a couple people that, we do live in LA and a lot of people do stupid stuff for social media. So there's some people that don't even look twice.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are obviously doing double, triple takes.
Because we look like this.
Because we both look like this.
Yes.
And so the first thing I noticed is we're in the parking lot trying to take the selfie for the podcast
first thing
cover
I
art.
noticed
was
the fact that the door wasn't a glass door. The glass had been broken.
Yes. There was, a wooden door in place of the glass. And when we went inside, it was wood and there were pizza boxes covering it, which might be their way of being like, ooh, this wood really isn't strong. Let's reinforce it with cardboard.
Like the curb appeal off the bat when you're pulling into the parking lot and you know that there's broken glass at some point. Like, uh-oh.
And it wasn't just this. It was the Popeyes across the street.
Yes. So something happened.
Or across the parking lot. Same parking lot. But
parking lot. But the Popeyes was also missing glass from a door.
And it makes me wonder a question, Rachel.
Huh.
It makes me wonder, what's going on over there?
What's going on over there? What's going on over there? Should I worry? Should I care? What is going on over there?
Hey, Rachel, what is going on over there? Why is their door like this?
Well, it's called WingStreet, right?
Yeah.
A bird flew in and broke it.
What? They're on a crusade against serving wings?
Yes.
Or they want to become the wings?
They're like, WingStreet! And
Here's the thing. I think you're looking at it from the wrong angle. You think that it's the wing part of the name that influenced this broken door. I think it's the street part of the name. I think someone was upset that this restaurant wasn't in the street enough. So they were like, we're going to break down that barrier between you and the street.
We're going to bring the street to you.
We're going to bring the street to you. Popeyes too.
Yeah.
Your collateral damage.
Or it's a bird inside trying to get out.
Oh, no. I would be sad if the food was shipped here live. If they're actually slaughtering the chicken here.
It's a chicken slaughter back there.
And based on the taste of this food, there's no chance that it's that fresh.
Very true.
That said, I do think we figured it out. I think that is, in fact, what's going on over there.
What's going on over there?
Now, that was the first thing you noticed was the door. The first thing I noticed was we're taking a selfie for the podcast cover art, and some kids come out of the Popeyes and go, hey, Freddy Krueger, I'm going to kill you in your dream. And I was like, you can't say that to strangers.
What is this? Communist Russia?
Do they say that in communist Russia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They kill you in your dreams. In communist Russia, I don't know if you're allowed to have dreams.
It's true.
Ugh. But
I
these kids
wasn't
were just
excited we were starting to get bullied by children.
We were getting bullied by children, and then they went back inside, and I was like, cool, we're done with them. That's fine.
They were 12 years old.
Yeah. And so we go inside, we place our order. I'm taking in decor. Actually, I'll talk about the inside decor. You said decor is generous, but I will go so far as to give them actual credit. There's a door to the left where you, if you're an employee, can go back into the kitchen and the service area and all that. And the door has a window that is shaped like the Pizza Hut logo. And it's it's kind of impressive woodwork.
I don't know if woodwork is even the right word. It's a vinyl door with a cutout in it.
Look,
decor is a strong word, but I hear what you're saying.
No. I'm gonna double check the evidence. Of course, my phone doesn't recognize my face. Yeah, look, it's actually embossed.
Okay, I guess. I guess I don't look at that and think, wow, fancy woodworking.
Okay. I didn't say fancy. I said impressive.
Okay.
It's impressive that a fast food restaurant went through the process.
I will say it's a nice detail. You would think that it'd just be a door, but they added a little extra.
A little something.
Yeah.
Little
je ne sais quoi.
Unctuous
is the word I use.
Yeah.
That's not the word I use with that, but we can use that word.
I'm trying. The wallpaper was onions and pizza toppings.
And it was peeling. The wallpaper was peeling, unfortunately.
Like your face.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. It was cute. But
it was clean, I thought, in there.
It was clean. The ceiling was yellow,
those
not
drop
tile.
Ceiling. It's that drop ceiling.
Ceiling. But it was it looked like the color of cheese. It seemed like they were going for pizza theming even all the way to the ceiling.
I just assumed that wasn't
It was that golden
choice.
color. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's very base level decor.
It is, but there was effort.
There was some effort.
I'm making a case for them just because I was impressed by a couple things.
Yeah, I guess you weren't expecting that much effort to be
right.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then like underneath where you ordered, there's these like they're like probably foam or something, but they look like they're metal.
You know
like
when Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite?
What if instead of Han, it was the Pizza Hut logo and the WingStreet logo? It literally was that. Yeah. And it just felt like the details mattered. All that to say, there was nothing impressive about this atmosphere. Like, even with those details that I'm giving them credit for, it's still a sad place to eat food.
Well, and to that point, it's not their intention for someone to eat food there.
No. But they do have
chairs for you
5
to sit.
chairs. It feels like a dentist waiting room.
And I think it's for you to wait for your food because probably most people take it to go.
Yeah.
And we were the people that decided to sit there for a few minutes and eat. Did you notice the chips?
Sun chips? Just in the window?
But first of all, randomly, all the same flavor of Sun chips. But I also, it's not that I have OCD, but every once in a while I'll notice these things. Like one of them was put up there upside down. And I'm like, but why wouldn't you just turn it the right side up? Like it's the display of chips and it's an upside down chip bag.
They don't care.
I know, but
they don't care.
That's such an easy thing to control.
And so why should we?
Well,
yeah. So that's where I thought the atmosphere would end. But then those punk ass kids from Popeyes came back in while we're in the middle of eating. And we're just like, they walked in and the employee's like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Oh, we just got to ask him a question." I was like, "What?" Well, I'm in the middle of recording something right now.
Eating.
I don't owe you my time.
Right. And of course the employee was upset too. She knew that these were like hoodlums essentially.
Right.
Like
they broke the door.
They were the ones who broke the door. These 12-year-old kids were just there to cause mayhem. They weren't going to order any food.
Yeah.
You know what? I hate children.
You know what? I'm going to say that behavior.
Freddy Krueger was right.
I'm going to go on record and give them an award. I think that behavior is way too much.
It's way too much.
This is
They don't know me.
Yeah. You don't know me.
You don't know me. You're not entitled to my time.
Mm-mm.
You're like, go away. Your behavior. Where are your parents?
Yeah.
Where are your legal guardians?
Yeah.
Where's the babysitter? I don't care who it is, but someone needs to pick you up because your behavior was, in fact, way too much.
Way too much.
All of that put together,
yeah.
I said a lot of things that I was impressed by the details of their atmosphere and decor. But then those kids came in and start harassing me. The window and our glass is broken. There's all this stuff that just adds to a negative. There's not even a table. We're eating off of our lap. I know it's not the intent to eat there, but Pizza Hut used to be a restaurant.
True.
And I'm hanging to that. So for the atmosphere of WingStreet, I'm going 2 thumbs down.
Oh.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Compared to every restaurant, of course.
I agree with that. It's too bad.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move in and talk about the service.
Service. The service was the bright spot.
I agree. She had such a young energy to her.
Very positive. Like she was going with the flow.
There was an immediate, freaks walk in.
These 2 crazy people walk in. And, we're in Los Angeles, so she's probably dealt with a lot of crazy people. She was probably like, uh-oh, what's going to happen on my shift today?
Which, she was taken aback, but also, I did go to this WingStreet last night to tell a man, I gave them a heads up. Hey, just so you know, I'm going to be back here tomorrow dressed as Freddy Krueger, and I just don't want to, alarm anyone.
Right.
And she still seemed kind of alarmed.
Initially, but then I think she put it together. She put it together.
And I even asked her, I was like, did someone give you a heads up? She was like, yeah, someone who was here last night told me. And I was like, oh, okay. So I do appreciate that the message made it. Because, I'm not looking to ruin someone's day or give them a hard time.
We're just making a podcast. We're just making content, bro.
Look, we're just doing Nightmare on WingStreet as you do.
You know what?
You do.
It really was a Nightmare on WingStreet, except for the service.
Yeah, she was great.
I don't know if I got her name. I just realized.
I didn't. She asked for her face to be blurred for social media videos.
True.
So even if I did know her name, I'm not going to out her.
She was really, really nice.
She's very nice.
Very helpful. I answered your questions,
Yeah. My favorite thing was she was like, what's the name? Should I put it under Freddy? And I was like, could you make it Freddies?
She's like, yes.
She's like, yes, I had that thought too. And so, and they actually had a display counter up top, like with all the names of upcoming orders and what time it is expected to be ready or if it is ready.
Right.
And so it says Freddy, ready.
I just realized now too that is very indicative of this type of restaurant we were going to. When there's a screen counting down your order.
You get to leave this hellhole in 5 minutes.
You get to see how many other people have ordered and are ahead of you,
There were 3 from the same Mike.
Yeah. What is Mike's problem?
He just kept forgetting stuff and being like, oh, I'm going to get this. Now, the other thing, so I called this restaurant probably 2 weeks ago and asked, do you guys have tables inside? And they said, no, we're not a place where you eat inside. So just to dilute any possible confrontation of they give us our food and then we start eating there, I didn't want them to say, you can't eat that here. You have to leave because I don't want to eat on the curb.
No.
This show, the whole conceit is to eat in the restaurant.
Sure.
So I came up with a plan that I thought was pretty cheeky. And it's let's order all the WingStreet stuff first.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's delivered, put in another order for Pizza Hut stuff. So we got a pizza and a dessert and some fries and all that. They're not really going to factor into the rating because this is strictly about WingStreet.
WingStreet rating.
But I want to pat myself on the back for being like, I figured out how to not get kicked out while we're eating.
You deserve validation here.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And which is what we did. We sat and ate the wings while we waited for other food to get prepared.
I did struggle immensely to grab my wallet. I was trying to and then once I got my wallet out,
this would be hard
with a claw hand with a power. I don't think this is the power glove, but whatever. With a Freddy claw hand. And then, once I have the wallet out, I'm trying to use it to, open and, fish out the credit card. And it was difficult.
That being said, for the eating portion, I thought this thing actually worked pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get more into that when we talk about the food. But as a utensil, this is not useless.
It's not useless as a utensil, yes.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that I just want to note real quick, when we did place that second order, on the screen, it said Freddy again.
I missed that.
Which brought me some joy. So, yeah, I mean...
That's our sequel, you see.
Yeah. Usually for a fast casual restaurant where you just order and then food's given to you over a counter, I usually don't go any higher than thumbs in the middle. I really did like the attitude of this employee. She was just fun, bubbly, friendly.
Food was made very quickly.
Food was made quickly enough. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 1 thumb up. She was playful in the way that she put the name on the thing. Yeah. So I'm going to go 1 thumb
Accommodating for us.
Just for service.
Yeah. She was also irritated by those kids, which made me go, yes, you're right.
Preach.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you also 1 thumb up or where are you on service? You can go thumbs in the middle if you want.
No, I would say 1 thumb up. It's 2 is the best, right?
2's the best.
Yeah, I'd say 1 thumb up for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think wherever you put that woman, she would be good at her job.
Sure. And a good attitude goes such a long way into making an enjoyable customer interaction.
Yes.
So that's service. On to food.
Food. Yum, yummy.
So this is going to be pretty limited because, we tried 4 wing flavors and then we got a couple other things. But I also have to mention, we spent the whole time eating it with this stupid contraption.
So I like that you were like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And then what I did is I opened the thing and I just went skewer and it was on my
Yes, but digging, even opening the door was tough. Getting the food out of the bag.
That was incredibly, it's such an inconvenience.
Do that. Oh. You hear the alarm going off? Do you know what that means?
What?
You said the word that unlocks the secret menu minigame. Inconvenience was the word, but it has triggered the category, delicious hassles.
Ooh.
The secret menu, basically, we get a joke category. We slingshot back and forth all the jokes that we can think of. You, in the comments, tell us who you thought did better.
Oh.
And
I didn't realize this was a competition.
Everything's competitive.
Oh, gosh.
But more importantly,
I got to use the right ones now.
Leave your own delicious hassle entry below. I'll pick my favorite one and send you a fine dining t-shirt when I announce you on the next episode. And the winner of last time's goes to TikTok user Idiot Bastard for their submission for Spooky Restaurants, The Grave of the Burger King. Go ahead, send me a DM on Instagram and TikTok at Fine Dining Podcast, or send me an email, finediningpodcast@gmail.com, and I will get you a Fine Dining t-shirt sent your way. Everyone else, best of luck this time. So delicious hassles, this is combining things that are a hassle with foods and restaurants, like getting a parking ticket cat bar.
Wow.
Or having your credit card decline Dyke bar.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Look, they're bad. They're bad this week.
No, mine are bad.
I'm going to be real. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. I'll have you start in 3, 2, 1.
Apple bee stings.
Apple bee stings. Taxes Roadhouse.
That's pretty good. Okay, so we're breaking up dip.
Losing your keys lime pie.
Outback outhouse.
I guess an outhouse is a hassle.
It's very inconvenient.
Okay. Yeah. Ice cream getting called into work on a Sunday.
Oh, okay. Seizure salad.
Getting ghosted peppers.
Okay.
Yeah.
TGI Mondays.
Waffle household chores.
Okay, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's vampire specific.
Great.
Hanger steak through the heart.
Okay. Having the cops called on you by an annoying neighborger.
Neighborger. F-boys, you know?
Yes.
F-boys and berry pie.
All right, and that'll do it for the secret menu. Don't forget,
was silly.
Comment your own below. I'll pick one for a Fine Dining t-shirt. And now back to talking about the food.
Oh, hey there, bud. We heard you like Dungeons & Dragons. Fancy that. We're your Canadian neighbors, eh? Dungeons & Dragons. And we just started season 3, which means it's the perfect place to start with us. Let me give you a little taste of the show.
How much is a donkey cost?
Russ, how much is a donkey cost?
The question everyone wants to know. Is he ever going to give you up?
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Orcus is gonna rule all and he won't desert you. Find out why Dungeons & Dragons has been downloaded more than 1 million times. Start listening to season 3 today, anywhere fine podcasts are found, or at dumbdragons.com.
Hey, here at the Nerdy Reads podcast, we read nerdy stuff such as sci-fi, fantasy, horror books, manga, comics, and all other things. We are a weekly podcast, so whether you listen to 5 books or 10 or 100 books a year, there is something for you on the Nerdy Reads podcast.
You can find us on YouTube or wherever you prefer to listen.
Join us in the New Stuff Cafe where we review a new food or beverage item each week.
You can also expect some of the latest and greatest news from across the Nerdverse and a sighting of the week.
And the best part of the show always happens at the end when we get some advice from our very own sweet baby Dylan.
Listen.
So what we did learn is, while these things sucked to use in so many ways, they're great for just skewering boneless wings and eating them off of your claw.
Or even bone wings. Like I used it to get it out of the dish.
Yeah.
And then I was able to
I did a thing where I poked it down with 2 claws and then ate it between them.
Yeah. And when you think about it, I guess this is like a knife.
It is.
In many ways.
It is very much like a knife.
I was able to get the meat out very well.
So let's talk about the specific food that we ate.
Okay.
So we had the honey barbecue boneless wings.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 sets of boneless, 2 sets of traditional wings, just to
mix it up a bit. Why
just
not?
to mix it up. And I thought that they were sweet but average. Like they were fine. I enjoyed them.
There's like so much sauce on them, and it's so much it just kind of tasted fake a little bit and overly sweet. But like it didn't taste bad. It just
but like it didn't have a texture of like, oh yeah, this is great quality meat. So I can only go 4.5 out of 10.
For that one, I would probably I'd probably go like 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how this is kind of like a calling a spade a spade. Like, look, it was good for our low expectations,
Yeah.
but
And I'm
let's
not
be
a
real.
wings person either, so
Yeah.
I'll preface that with that.
Then we had lemon pepper traditional wings. These I thought were probably the strongest of the bunch.
I agree with you on that. They weren't overly sauced. There was some nice acid in there because of the lemon, obviously, which added this nice flavor profile. And
it didn't feel messy, which usually isn't a factor that I care about too much. But when I'm eating it with a literal Freddy Krueger hand, I do kind of mind how much of a mess it's making.
Yeah, understandable.
I went 5.5.
I was going to say 5 for this one.
Yeah, 5.5 out of 10 for their lemon pepper wings. It's the best lemon pepper wings you find are probably going to be like 7.5, 8. Like they can get very tasty, but for like a fast food.
And this was our dry rub, our only dry rub.
This is our only
one.
dry wing.
Yeah.
Then the Buffalo Burnin' Hot Boneless.
Burnin' hot.
I coughed immediately. Like literally the second it entered my mouth, I inhaled the like heat fumes and it was like
And I was nervous about it being too hot. And I will say it was just on the edge for me on spice because I'm not a huge buffalo person. But overall, it was fine. It's still too much sauce, I felt like.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I didn't love the super hot ones. And like I like hot spiced things. Usually I'm not the biggest into the flavor of a buffalo. Like they had a sweet hot. I forget what it was called. Sweet Thai or something. Sweet Thai chili.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And that appealed to me. But I asked the lady that worked there what she recommended between the two. And I usually don't go against a recommendation because it seems rude to even ask in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just also like, oh, you asked my opinion and then didn't take it. Like, why'd you ask?
True.
Yeah. So it's not my favorite thing.
What'd you grade that?
I went 4 out of 10 on the Buffalo Hot.
I was going to give that a 3, probably.
Yeah. And then the spicy garlic traditional wings. They just weren't very spicy.
They weren't very spicy at all. That's why I thought I'd be fine with the buffalo because I knew that I wasn't going to get blown out. It was, again, so much sauce.
Like, I opened the container to go in for another one, and it was just swimming. And I was like, you know what? I really don't think I want to take another one.
I don't even know if it's sauce or grease or a combination of both.
It's
it's not as exciting to want to eat, I feel like.
And like, the plating on it is literally just it's like kind of that like better for the environment plastic little bowl. And it's just like a pool of sauce.
Yeah.
There's nothing like special about it. And again, this isn't a restaurant where they bring your food to your table. I get that. But presentation is still a thing you notice.
Well, and especially these are things they are making specifically for this. It's not like they're buying general restaurant ware. Like these are made for WingStreet. And they have stickers on the outside so you know which flavor you're getting. So they have thought a lot about packaging for this particular establishment.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really seem to really add much to it.
Right.
Which is odd because they're spending extra money to like design and manufacture this.
Yeah. So it was uninspired. I think for the spicy garlic, I, again, just go 5 out of 10.
I gave that a 3.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, this isn't good quality.
It felt like
food.
Maybe it was frozen chicken that had been reheated, which is a lot of food.
Which, by the way, I'm not going to like claim it was. I'm just saying it did taste like it. It may not be. That's not the point. The fact that it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do assume it is, but like.
Quality is not, they're more about convenience, I think, quick.
Yeah.
And you know what you're going to get because that's what fast food is. I know exactly what I'll get at McDonald's. I know exactly what I'll get at that place.
Right. You have a go-to order.
Same thing with WingStreet / Pizza Hut, I think.
Like for me, McDonald's, I get a McGriddle and I cry. That's my McDonald's routine.
Well, that sounds like something to talk about with your therapist.
Yep. We're working through a lot of things. And then I got 2 more things that I do want to talk about and then one more that won't factor into the rating. But, we got a pizza. We got like the pan pizza, which...
They're standard.
They're standard. We got pepperoni for me, for you. It's fine. It's a Pizza Hut pizza. I'm not even going to give it a number because it doesn't factor into this. But because they got the fryer for WingStreet, I do want to factor in the Cajun fries. Did you try one?
I did not.
So...
But it was like a steak fry you were describing, right?
It was...
Or it wasn't a crispy fry.
It was kind of mushy.
Okay.
It was like the same dimensions as a Burger King chicken fry to where it's like a little bit thicker, but not Yeah.
It was really soft on the inside, right?
Yeah, and it's very like, it's like a perfect square around the sides. The seasoning was pretty good.
Oh, good.
The texture, now to be fair, we carted it home.
It wasn't immediately
It was in
fresh.
the car for 10 minutes.
But that's the guise of this place. It's a to-go place. You're
It
not
is
supposed
a
to eat
to-go
it fresh.
place.
So.
But even still, I'll say with that seasoning, I went 6 out of 10.
Oh, really? Wow.
So
I did not try it, so I'm not going to grade it.
I was more impressed than I expected to be
Mm-hmm.
with the Cajun fries. And then the other thing that just looked interesting, they added a new dessert. It was like hot chocolate donut bites or something. And they're a chocolate-filled chocolate donut.
Yes.
Almost like a little,
Almost
like a beignet.
I was going to say they had
like a
beignet
pillowy,
shape to it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. They were, they existed.
Like, first of all, one thing I hate about like these, this is going to sound like really complainy, but like corporate restaurants is they always have pictures of food, right?
And
they
will
never look
match
like
it. Yeah.
the picture that, like, I ordered that and this is what I get.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt like that with that.
The disconnect with the donut.
The donut thing. It just kind of like tasted like General Sweet. Like, and it's probably not any real chocolate or cocoa in there. It's probably like that fake chocolate stuff. It's fine. It's not like it was. I like threw it up.
This is going to be a really weird comparison, but like the difference between like a pretzel and a soft pretzel, this felt like the equivalent of like a breakfast cereal soft. Like the texture of this was like, God, what is it? There's like a little cocoa breakfast cereal that has like chocolate inside.
Cocoa Puffs? Oh,
I want to say Crave, maybe.
Okay, I'm not super
I could be totally wrong, but there's like a breakfast cereal that's like chocolate with chocolate inside.
Okay.
This felt like the soft pretzel equivalent of that, but blown up.
Okay.
And it could have been more. It didn't taste very fresh. It
didn't taste fresh. I wanted the inside to be gooier.
Yeah.
You know, like more like a molten lava cake or something,
right.
which is not at all the case.
No.
It was like almost congealed inside.
I'll go 3.8. I'm almost at a 4, but I'm 3.8 on these, which for a
graded
dessert,
lower for me. I would say that's a 2.
That's a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got such a sweet tooth. So for something to even get in the 3s for me, when you have that like 2-point bias from me loving sweets.
Yeah, because I'm not a sweets person.
Yeah. So yeah, you drop the ball on this thing that like it has potential conceptually, but the execution is.
Well, and maybe it is a new menu item. They're trying to kind of figure out the kinks a little bit,
maybe.
But it was not exciting. It was not exciting.
No. So when we put all of that together, the food, 1 thumb down. Like when I'm comparing this to all other restaurants, the food here is 1 thumb down.
Yeah.
It might be 2 thumbs down. I don't know. Where are you? I'll be nice and say 1 thumb down.
I'm going to say 1.5.
I'm going to say, yeah.
Can you have a half thumb?
No.
One in a neutral?
How about this? You go 1 down, I'll go 2 down, and then they average out.
Yeah.
That's what you deserve. WingStreet food. Yeah. Not the best meal I've had in my life. All right. Well, we have to put all of these score considerations and get a rating
computing
out of it. But before we do, speaking of it's not the best restaurant or the worst restaurant, I want to stop by the calibration station and hear about those things from you after the theme song.
Calibration station, comparing this meal to the best to the worst. Calibration station, chugga 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 choo choo.
Rachel.
Hi. I'm here.
I don't know how to snap. I need to calibrate your scale because I've been to all of these restaurants. I know when I give a score what it's compared to.
Sure.
Yeah, this is your first time on the podcast, that's totally okay. But
and maybe I'll be back.
I need you to calibrate, and maybe you won't look like this next time. Maybe you can like be you. So I want to know, what are the ends of your personal scale? The worst restaurant experience you've ever had, and the best restaurant experience you've ever had. I'll let you pick which one you want to start with.
I guess I'll start with best. I'm very lucky. I've traveled a lot and I've been to some really nice restaurants.
Yeah.
My best restaurant experience is the really, 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 it might be Michelin star rated. I haven't looked it up, but the restaurant that's on the Eiffel Tower, Jules Verne. Very expensive, very fancy, multiple courses. You get fed a bunch of free courses, in fact, as part of this experience.
Yeah. Food.
You're getting interesting flavors, beautiful plating, like it's not just salt and sweet. Someone's really creating an experience, a dining experience.
Yeah.
It's clean. You have, the service. There's like 3 waiters per person. Everyone's getting their food at the same time. I always find that very fun.
Is it one of those places where if your napkin falls off your lap,
yes.
they immediately...
There's like water being immediately, refilled,
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't hurt that you're on the Eiffel Tower. I do acknowledge that is probably swaying this experience. And you're looking over the city of Paris, like literally most beautiful city in the world. I love Paris. So, yes, that's my best dining experience. The food was incredible. I remember we had lobster ravioli. I remember we had they kept giving us free desserts and like little truffles and things. I was there with my family. That's best 10 out of 10 experience.
Great. Let's hear that 0.
Here's the thing, Michael.
Yeah.
I hate complaining. I do.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't like to disparage things.
It's funny that you say that, and I'm like trying to think like, does she? And then I'm like, I actually don't know if I can remember you complaining. It's not a place I like to live in. Yeah.
I don't like to live in a place of like focusing on the negative.
Yeah.
But I really did think about, so I say that because I think I have found a lot of silver linings in negative dining experiences. So the experience I'm going to talk about, I don't even really remember the food.
Okay.
I just remember it not being positive, and I'm pretty sure the food, I just can't tell you specifically what I ate. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So this other experience, I am in London, and I'm with friends.
Such a jet-setting lifestyle.
Yeah. And when you're in London, for the love of God, do not go to a Mexican restaurant. Let me tell you, that was our first mistake.
Yeah.
We'd been there. So I went twice when I was in college to these 3-week experiences where we were seeing theater. So I was living in London for 3 weeks.
Right.
And by the end of that, we were all like, we need Mexican food because I'm a Cali dork,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's a Mexican restaurant. Like, it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
It was not great. We were there. We were in this random area trying to, before a play. So we go into this restaurant. First of all, there's like, those chairs that are like at the ballrooms where it's like, just plastic vinyl chair and they all stack on each other. That's the kind of chair. And it's just like, folding tables.
Not promising.
And then, greasy, nothing tastes like Mexican food. It tastes like a British person who saw a Mexican TV show once decided to start cooking Mexican food.
He was like,
no decor.
Tomatoes, I can put ketchup in it.
Yes, everything is just like gross. And service is fine. Nobody else is even eating in there. I'm like, how does this place even stay open? Like, that's probably my worst dining experience. And I bet you I've had bad food. I just can't think about it because I've tried to block it from my memory. What's funny is I should have learned my lesson because I was in London last year. I was there with my ex-boyfriend and we got the appetizer platter. And there were nachos on the appetizer platter. I should have known. Because nachos are a Mexican dish.
Right.
We shouldn't have gotten it. And they had put mayonnaise. That was instead of sour cream.
That's so weird.
Black olives, mayonnaise, and there were some beans, and then the cheese wasn't melted. This is the problem with British people is they don't understand how to make Mexican food.
Right. That is the problem with British people.
That's the only problem.
Nothing else.
That's the only problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's your 10. That's your 0. You're properly calibrated. Somewhere between those two. Closer to the Eiffel Tower or closer to British Mexican food? Where is WingStreet? We got to give it a number. We're going to jump into the final rating.
Final rating.
All right, Rachel. Put all the factors in. Give us a little recap of how you got there, but we need a number.
Okay.
For WingStreet.
It is closer to the side of British Mexican food.
Of course it is.
It is higher than I initially thought because of the service. I'll say that. I'm going to give it a 2.22.
2.22?
And so the food, decor,
yeah.
Service?
Yeah. I am kind of right there with you. Our scores are very close.
Yeah.
When I look at the low end of the tchotchke of mediocrity, there's White Castle and Shoney's, which are experiences that I would say I hated. There's Gaddy Town in medieval times, which not good. But I
have been to medieval times.
There were some things about them that had redeeming qualities. This is probably between those two for me. So I went 2.30.
Oh, it's on the slightly higher. I thought you were going to go a little higher, actually.
No, very close to you. So when we put our scores together, WingStreet goes up on the tchotchke of mediocrity at a 2.26.
Wow.
And now let's see if I can affix it with this claw.
That's not the first time he said that.
Yes, it is.
Oh. Wow. Look at that.
Which means WingStreet is officially less than mediocre.
Less than mediocre. Not quite as good as Cracker Barrel.
That is what that means. Which means it's not the perfect 5.00, which means that I need to go somewhere next time. However, next time is going to be in 2 weeks, not in 1 week.
Oh.
Because this is my season 2 finale.
Wow. This episode right here,
This episode that we are in right now, the end of season 2, end of October.
Wow.
A horror spectacular Nightmare on WingStreet.
Oh, this is pretty horrific.
Wasn't nearly as spooky as my season 1 TGI Friday the 13th episode, but, you know, there is a nightmare to inconvenience, which we did experience plenty of trying to eat dressed like this.
Yes.
I'm sweating my life away. Ugh.
Ow.
Ugh.
Oh, you are very wet.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to be able to remove it like that. But, but you're so wet, I think it's working.
Like, look at how this is the nightmare that I have dealt with. And I am juicing out of the back of my bald cap.
What's funny is I started to think you looked like that more.
Anyways.
Like, I forgot what your face looked like.
Yeah, I did too. So, as part of my season finale, I'm going to kill off some elements of the show that aren't going to make it to next season. So next season,
I get to be privy to this?
You get to be privy to this. So,
okay.
I don't know. What did you like the least about this episode?
Oh, I guess I kind of felt like I was put on the spot with like the what's going on over there.
That's me killing what's going on over there. Look, I've given out a lot of awards, specifically the This Is Way Too Much award over the course of this show. And I just feel like, look, it's expensive to give out so many awards. So I'm going to kill that off.
Well, you should get the final award for This Is Way Too Much, because it was way too much to be giving out that many.
It's been way too much giving out the This Is Way Too Much award. So I'm going to kill that off next season. But more importantly, I'm going to try something a little bit different for the reviews. Look, I've been going at this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Looking for the perfectly mediocre restaurant, and I haven't been able to find it yet. And I think that there's a little something wrong with my formula.
Oh.
I've been looking for the restaurant that moves the needle the least. I've defined mediocrity as a place where it's like, you know, in service atmosphere, food, all of those elements, it's just meh. And I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Okay.
I think what I should be looking for is the restaurant where the good and the bad are in perfect harmony. A place that makes me feel something and not nothing, but it makes me feel both ends of the human experience.
Wow. Powerful.
So that's going to be my goal. It's a little bit of shift in how my episodes will be organized, but I'm not going to go to the You Must Bowl to determine where I go next for my season premiere. I'm going to do something very special. I'm heading to Denver, Colorado. I have been on the wait list for 10 months, and I finally get to dine at Casa Bonita, the restaurant from South Park. You know Casa Bonita?
I went there like 10 years ago.
Oh, you went there before the remodel.
I was going to say that was one of my worst experiences.
Okay. Well, I'm super excited because it's been entirely revamped by the guys who own South Park.
Maybe it's better now.
Maybe it's better now. We'll find out, but tune in 2 weeks. Next week, I will be dropping a trailer for season 3. Thanks, everyone, so much for following along with this journey so far. I will be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode on Casa Bonita, 1 week with a trailer. Leave a comment below, you know, leave a like, all that stuff. Share the show. Obviously, I'm trying to grow as much as possible. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at finediningpodcast. Rachel?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Rachel Amanda Bryant, on TikTok at Rachel A. Bryant. And I do have a horror movie coming out. It's premiering this month. It's going to be out by the end of this year, the beginning of next year. A Hard Place. It stars Felissa Rose and Lynn Lowry, 2 horror icons. It also has Bai Ling in it. But guess who actually is the lead of the whole movie?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
Again, she actually looks like this picture. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming. It's been really fun having you on.
Of course. I had a blast.
We didn't find the most mediocre restaurant.
But we found each other.
In America. But we found each other looking just busted.
So terrible. I'm so sorry.
Say. The search does, in fact, continue. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a fine day.
Search continues. We still need the perfect five. The search continues. Like and subscribe. The search continues. Our journey did not conclude. The mother effing search continues. Write us an iTunes review.
And hey, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and make it 5 stars, huh? Come on.
Follow us on TikTok, the same on Instagram, all the socials at Fine Dining Podcast. We have a website, finediningpodcast.com. Buy our t-shirts, then put them on.
And don't forget, you can always suggest where we go next.
Okay, we're going to find it. Mediocrity. The search continues. See you next week.
Hurt my throat a little.
Have a fine day.